It's North Melbourne and Footscray from round 20, 1987.
And it's been a thriller. The lead changed hands 8 times in the first half, and 4 times was it level. Mossop wins yet another one. Fighting for it there was McPherson. Through came Larkin very strongly, out wide to Steele. Steele then hooks it back towards the full forward zone. Phil Cracker did it brilliantly, but it was brilliantly taken then away from him by Kennedy. Kennedy out wide, and here comes Fitzpatrick. He kicks it down to Doug Hawkins, who takes an excellent mark at centre wing.
And Doug Hawkins plays on quickly, but it was a poor piece of play. We see Jeff Chandler picks the ball up, centre wing position, heads back towards Donald McDonald from behind, couldn't take the mark. Well taken by Hepburn, who's changed into the short sleeves, kicks high up to Phil Cracker. Cracker's, casual as anything, but he's off target. We see Michael McLean picking up Phil Cracker. In the first half, he had the job on Matthew Larkin, who had some 18 possessions and was a dominating player. So he's been switched on to Phil Cracker as we see the ball kicked in, marked by Purser on that 50-metre line. Keen to play on, but it's a poor kick. And Footscray has kicked poorly at different stages of the game. Over the line, out of bounds. And the Bulldogs, 8-11-59, lead North Melbourne 8-9-57. Purser from behind, right over the back of Mossop. Wins the ball well. Hand passed out to Aythorne. Aythorne kicks long down, looking for Shane Williams, and Williams takes the mark in front of John Law. And Shane Williams, former Richmond grand final player. It's his 3rd mark. It's kicking from 40 metres out towards the punt road end. It's holding up, and it's well off target. And through for one behind.
Well, he's not converted his opportunities today, and that tough, redoubtable opponent beside him, the acting captain, John Law, has taken the points. He's kicked 3 behinds, as Shane. Out wide, Mossop in front position again, well punched away by Purser. McPherson picks up and left foot's down towards the goal square. In front there nicely was Ackley. Good play, Cordy. You better run it through or you'll be in trouble. Law picks it up, and Law then boots him out of danger once again. But it's all Footscray, and Douglas Hawkins takes the mark, but he's too far out to score.
And Doug now on that right boot, chips it in short and finds Michael Ford. It's a long way out from goals on the outer side of the ground, a good 50 metres. He'll have trouble making the distance from out there. 7 kicks to Ford. He's going to certainly kick the ball long into the square. It's well off target, out of bounds on the full, and the penalty kick will go to North Melbourne by the acting skipper, John Law. Has to favour the outer side of the ground. Kicks off the side of the boot. No one was really keen to go for it. Here's a chance for Clarkson. Well tackled by Colinook, 2 youngsters there, and coming through very strongly was Donald McDonald. Nearly took Colinook in the back. And a free kick to young Steve Colinook, playing his first game of league football. Bit of an altercation here also between Mark Aythorne and Matthew Larkin. Aythorne probably has the job of picking up Larkin in this 3rd quarter.
I think he has, Kev. Yeah, McLean doesn't seem to be on the ground. And Peter Foster takes a super mark while we're talking about the little scuffle that's going on between Larkin and Aythorne. And there's no bigger job than to look after to Matthew Larkin. And a long kick by Foster is offline once again, right to the teeth of goal, picked up by McPherson. Straight up in the air it went, and it's thrown in for one behind. It's through for one behind. It'll here's the full back.
And North Melbourne through Clarkson. Love it was. Kicks the ball out to that centre wing position. Chance for Aythorne. Has the big job of playing on Matthew Larkin. Absolutely starred in that first half as Larkin tries to crash his way through. Well caught too. Good play there by Ford as we see North Melbourne go forward. Steele, will he trap the ball on the line? Oh, it bounced up and hit him on the chin. And then finally went over the line and out of bounds. The Bulldogs lead by 4 points, 8-13, 61 to North Melbourne 8-9, 57. We've played 5 minutes into this third quarter. And it's been a great game. Great skills, a lot of close contests, some great tackling. As we see, Matthew Larkin kicks the ball long, but Linton Fitzpatrick, drops the sitter this time. He's had a good game, but that time he made that error. As we see the ball kicked off the ground, Baxter picks the ball up well. Pushed by Phil Cracker, leading the race for the ball. Couldn't take it was Maloney. Picked up by Jim, drops it in short. Brilliant pass. And taken by Donald McDonald.
McDonald been a very energetic and capable player. He comes in for his 12th possession. Spent the early part of the game in interchange bench, but really has livened up this North Melbourne forward line. And when he's around, you know he's around, because you'll always got to keep an eye on him, because Donald is fiery and tough. He can kick the ball out of sight. That's not going to make any difference at this stage, because he's only about, I guess, 30 metres from goal when he comes in to kick. He's coming in from a long, long way from the man on the mark. Kicks from about 35 to 40 metres and kicks it very well. And that puts North Melbourne in front. And understandably, he goes across and rightfully thanks Jim Cracker.
And that's the 9th time the lead has changed in the game so far. Donald McDonald started on the interchange bench, and Hickey injured his leg, and McDonald was brought on the ground early in the first quarter. And since then has been a very, very good player. First of all, playing at centre-half back on Peter Foster, and now playing at centre-half forward, and Steve McCann has gone to that key defence post. And Mossop once more with a thump out of the centre. Good play by Love, kicks it up high. Here's a chance for Jimmy Cracker, but the free kick has been paid, and will go to Darren Baxter. Baxter between full-back and centre-half back, kicks out to the outer side of the ground, looking for Doug Hawkins from behind, goes to the fist. Waiting down was Chandler, his opponent. Has knocked the ball back over his left shoulder. Love in front, can't take the mark. German waits down. Good hands, kicks the ball back, and here's Phil Cracker out in front and takes the mark in front of Michael McLean, who's had a real horror day. First of all on Larkin, now the task of picking up Phil Cracker. 15 possessions to Cracker, 30 metres out, 45-degree angle. And with that unusual kicking style, Phil just walks in and goes bang and pops it straight through the centre. And North Melbourne open up an 8-point lead at the 8-minute mark of the third quarter. The Kangaroos 10-9, 69, Footscray 8-13, 61.
In effect, North Melbourne are really playing Phil Cracker at full forward. Donald McDonald is taking Kennedy well up the ground, and Phil Cracker is staying in the 10-metre square. There's nobody within cooey of him, and he's a big assignment one-on-one with his amazing skills, as was proved at that stage when he beat McLean so comfortably. This is a handy lead for North Melbourne. 8 points in front they are, and John Mossop gets another one out. Good tackle there by Maloney. Or is it against? No, Maloney's taking the free kick. Maloney in the centre of the ground. Footscray needing a goal. Here comes Peter Foster with the leap. Punched away well that time by Fairley. Booted down by Law. In front, an excellent mark taken. Falling all over the top of him was Stephen Wallace, but Spargo took it well. Plays on. Kicks it down. Phil Cracker comes out again and almost took a good one. Plays on. He's got the world against him. Still gets it. Hand passes out looking for Larkin. Larkin's in trouble. Tackled by Kennedy as slick as they can. Out it goes to Alistair Clarkson. Over the back it goes and through for one behind. But Phil Cracker, very effective in that decoy full forward zone.
And he does look dangerous, Doug. 3 goals next to his name, and very nearly did hold that mark. Wide open forward line. As we see, Ford brings the ball back into play to that outer side of the ground. Royal takes the crumb. Quick kick, but it's all North Melbourne, taken by John Law, and he kicks the ball long over centre half forward. It's one for the high flyers. Love's in front, thumped away by Ford. Picked up, chance by Love. Hand passes out to McDonald. The kick's it's a high one. Good 60 metres in the air underneath it. One for the Brave. The ball drops to the back. McLean just can't handle the ball at all. Larkin's caught, picked up. Great play here as we see coming away with the ball. It's Cordy onto that left boot. Back to Wallace. Wallace had a great duel with Spargo and on this occasion wins out.
Yes, one out beautifully. Man in front, completely outmanoeuvred him. And Stephen Wallace on half-back flank sent it long. Foster McCann's a great duel. In front, the chances there for North once again. Through Ross Smith. Downfield it goes. Wallace is beaten this time. Purser very slick. Out it comes and Maloney kicks it down. And it's again McCann and Foster. Over the back it comes from them. Opportunity for Stephen McPherson. And he took a heavy one from Law. Shane Williams, very clever. Kicks it out towards the half-forward flank. Picked up by Royal. Royal out wide to McGuinness. McGuinness, a very difficult angle. Out it comes. And in comes Collinhook and sends it for goal. And kicks it very badly is young Stephen Collinhook.
Unfortunately for the kid there, Doug, that was his first shot at goal in league football. He was well clear. I would take it that Tony McGuinness would have been speaking to him, telling him he was clear. He's had 4 possessions since he came on the ground in the second quarter, Collinhook. But Footscray have missed a couple of easy goals. As we see the North Melbourne bring the ball back into play. Mossop couldn't win control. Now he does. Out to Jeff Chandler. A long hand pass to Ackley. Ackley hurriedly onto that left boot. And a free kick played down the field as light rain now starts to fall at the MCG as North Melbourne 10-10-70. They've opened up an 8-point lead over the Bulldogs.
Down goes the umpire.
62. And the umpire takes a tumble. Umpire Ian Robinson, well over 300 games, umpired more games than anyone else in history. VFL history, that is, as we see Royal, this time across to McLean. Hugging the boundary line on the outer side of the ground as we see Foster punches the ball back into play. Oh, strong play. Donald McDonald crashes his way through. Past Linton Fitzpatrick onto that left boot. Love from behind's up high. Can't take the mark. German running into the open goal. Fires. Hits the post.
Phil German on half-forward flank. Still looking very damaging. But to date hasn't notched a major. Short pass out wide to Darren Baxter. Baxter is about 35 metres from his goal, from his defensive goal, of course. In front is Collinhook, got lots of trouble. Ooh, Steele went for him and went over the top of him and hit him on the shoulder. And the free kick goes to young Stephen Collinhook.
Disappointing crowd, Doug, for a game that's got so much action. Only 5 points the difference at quarter time, 3 points at half time in Footscray's favour. As we see now the Bulldogs going forward. Beasley should have taken that mark. Picked up by Chandler. He's had a great duel with Hawkins across to Ackley. Has to kick hurriedly on that left boot, but like a true back pocket player, it's been reading the John Beckwith manual, and the ball just inside the boundary line before going over and out. Throw in. It's Mossop. Beasley has to come down from full forward. Chandler playing a very good third quarter. Royal's kick is smothered. Picked up by Royal again. The kick's a short one. Lands in no man's territory. Punched away by Ross Smith. Chance for Wallace onto the left boot. McPherson's the target. But he's pushed Michael Passmore out. And the defender on the half-back flank, who had 2 goals kicked on him in the opening quarter by McPherson, takes the free kick and a 15-metre penalty.
Yeah, Steve McPherson gives away an unnecessary 15 metres as well. And this is the undisciplined part of his play, I'm sure, that worries the coach. Michael Passmore kicks it downfield. In front is Phil German. Maloney goes with him. German got there first. Absolutely magnificent roving by Royal again. Underneath it, Mossop. Never looked like it. Stephen McCann. Beautifully done out to Spargo. And Spargo on the centre of the ground. Nobody near him. Steadies and sends it long. Looking for Phil Cracker again. And Phil Cracker could have been awarded that one. McLean comes on, hits it out towards the boundary line and gets it out of danger. And he'll be a very relieved player, will Michael McLean, to see that ball trundled over the line.
And very good defensive play by Michael McLean. Purser with a tap out to Hawkins. Oh, well juggled by Dougie Hawkins across to Wallace. Wallace kicks down to that half-forward line and McPherson once more able to back and take the mark. That's how he kicked his 2 opening goals in that first quarter. Now he tries to play on. but umpire Rowan Saw is a bit too experienced for that. McPherson from the outer side of the ground, kicking down towards the punt road end of the MCG from the true 50-metre line. Goes short, the lead's on. Colin Nook was up, but Shane Williams read it well and has taken the mark. It's kicked through behind Shane Williams, mark number 5. Kick number 7. At his third league club, and Shane Williams moves in. And he's kicked it. And that's a very handy goal for the Bulldogs, because once more that brings him within 3 points of North Melbourne. The Kangaroos 10-11-71, Footscray 9-14-68. We've played nearly 16 minutes into this third quarter, and there's been nothing between these two sides since the opening bounce.
North Melbourne on 48 points and Footscray on 40 with a very poor percentage. It's a must for Footscray. Centre of the ground now with 3 points the difference. 16 minutes gone. Umpire Robinson up. Out to Maloney. Picked up by Mossop. Kick is smothered. Brian Cordy hooks it back towards centre half forward. Looking for Foster. McCann's there with him. Punched away. Steve Wallace, an awkward one. Kicked away by Spargo. Ackley does battle and hits it out cleverly. Nicely picked up by Chandler. Chandler down to centre half forward. Underneath it, there was Hepburn, couldn't take it, had a quiet day. Out to the flank, and German leads in the run for it. You'll have to be quick. Gets a long hand pass over McDonald's head. They're everywhere, and Love slipped at the crucial time after he did a nice evasive run, lost the face of the ball. Maloney very well to Cordy. Cordy's got the chance to boot to centre half forward. Underneath it was Passmore. Foster very strong, took one high and will take a free kick. And Peter Foster, a very fearless player, and shrugs it off. And here's the man who got 4 games for Fitzroy.
It's being reported.
A report?
Ross Smith is being reported, Doug, by umpire Ian Robinson for obviously an alleged high tackle.
Well, he's been a pretty tough player over the season. And I was just saying the Peter Foster career, 4 games for Fitzroy in 1982, could only manage 2 when he went across to Footscray in 83. You'd say he could have given it up, but he's fought back and was in the interstate team this year. A wonderful performance. Ross Smith reported for that tackle as Foster kicks for goal and hooks it just a little and missed it. And that's been the blemish. The left footer kicks it long and normally kicks pretty straight, although his record for the season is 9-16 before this match. So when kicking for goal, I guess he goes back to his backman habits.
Well, 9-15 the Bulldogs have kicked to North Melbourne's 10-11, 2 points the difference, 18 minutes played in this third quarter, and Shane Williams with a kick, just landed at the feet of Steve McPherson. Great tackle by McPherson also. The ball spins out to Royal. Royal's kick well smothered by Donald McDonald. McGuinness comes in, has to hand pass wildly, and Smith thumps the ball over the line. I don't think Ross Smith has too much to worry about the tribunal, Doug, because I'm certain there was nothing intentional in that high tackle. So we see the throw-in take place. Foster over the top, picks up. Good play by Foster this time. He fires. That's a great kick by Peter Foster. The snapshot, much better than the set shot. And he's popped through his first goal. 9 kicks to Peter Foster. The second goal, I should say, to Peter Foster. So the centre-half back comes centre-half forward. Has been a very good player right from the opening bounce. And the Bulldogs, once more, the lead has changed, and Footscray are back in front, 10-15-75. North Melbourne 10-11-71, 4 points the difference at the 19-minute mark of the third quarter.
And Jimmy Cracker boots it down, looking for brother Phil once again. Phil Cracker with the ball, hotly pursued, hooks it back towards the centre-half forward post. And a nice smile that time by Hepburn. Gives a chance to Chandler, right on the boundary line. Pursued by Hawkins. Beats him cleverly, shoots for goal and misses. Well, that was very skillful football by Chandler. And then from a difficult angle, could have really come in a little closer. Misses a difficult goal, but did it beautifully to frustrate Hawkins, that very experienced, most experienced player in the Footscray side.
And Michael McLean decides to tap the ball onto his boot and go for a bit of a run. Kicks out towards the practice wickets on the outer side of the ground. Foster couldn't take the mark. It's usually very slippery out there. Players struggling to pick the ball up. Royal with a quick kick back towards that centre wing position. Ball bounces for Ackley. Hand passes over his head to Jimmy Cracker. Caught was Steve McPherson, but too high. Plays on quickly. Out to Royal. He's had a heap of possessions. Kicks down to Shane Williams in front of the pack. Punched away by Smith. Here's a chance for young Stephen Collinock in his first game. He's caught and held without the ball. Well picked up by umpire Sawyers. Young Collinock missed a very easy goal early in this third quarter. On his first game. He's had 6 possessions. Started the season in the under-19s. Goes short and hits Simon Beasley on the chest. Good play by the youngster. Lace out. No bruising to Simon.
Simon Beasley. I guess about 35 to 40 metres out. Very difficult angle. Right up against the fence and will cross the boundary line as he comes in to shoot for goal. So it's a tough one. Beasley's kick one. And the full forward kicks across the face of goal. Almost taken by Shane Williams. Looks to the umpire and says, please, was that mine? But it wasn't. And it's out of bounds. It'll be thrown in right beside the point post. McDonald's the only ruckman there and thumps it out towards Steele. Steele under pressure, cleverly to Ackley. Ackley boots him out of danger to an open centre wing position where Douglas Hawkins leads. Gets the well, gets it out nicely. Picked up there by Ford. Ford then kicks down looking for Williams, and Williams takes the mark, playing a lively third term. Short passes it beautifully and is taken by Royal. Royal about 45 metres from goal and about a 45-degree angle. This is the young man who came down from Bairnsdale and was the Rookie of the Year, won the best and fairest in his first season, and has continued to be a star player almost from the first time he walked onto a league ground. What a wonderful kick, and it just missed.
Well through behinds to Brian Royal, and that was his 10th possession for the quarter. And he's been a great player all day as we see the Bulldogs lead by 4 points. They lost the thriller last week to St Kilda. Can they win this week and keep a hope their chance to making the finals this year? As we see Wallace thumps the ball back into play. Chance once more to Royal. He's been caught. The hand pass is a wild one. North Melbourne run the ball over the line by John Law, and a throw-in once more will take place. Half-back flank for Footscray. On the members' side, the Bulldogs kicking down towards the punt road end. Ackley kicks a poor one. And a throw-in once more on that centre wing position. 23 minutes played in this third quarter. 4 points the difference. Footscray lead. And it's Purser against McDonald. Purser with the tap out. And a ball up. Purser once more. Wins the tap to McGuinness. Ridden into the ground, picked up by German. Back to that half-forward flank, and this time Michael McLean playing in front. Off Phil Cracker, he's off and running. Touches the ball on the ground and kicks back to the half-forward line.
Law in front position. Foster was the good leaper. German in front of the pack to Larkin. Larkin lightning out to Jim Cracker. Jim Cracker's in trouble from a good tackle by McGuinness, but recovers well and then gets it cleverly out to Larkin. Larkin's an awkward one. Gets away from Maloney. Got 2 to beat. But looks for the brother Jim. He can't take it. Larkin brilliant once again. Out wide it comes and Hepburn with it. Hepburn kicks it high in the air. Doesn't gain much distance. Underneath it the punches by Wallace. Over the back from Phil Cracker. Out to German. Very clever across to Spargo. He gives it to Mossop and Mossop goals. Beautiful football. And Larkin was the architect who did all the hard work earlier, but finally finished off, and a great goal. And the scoreboard is 11-12 to North Melbourne and 10-16 to Footscray.
And the lead changes yet again. That's the 11th time the lead has changed in the game. And once more, it was Phil Cracker with that lightning hand pass across the German to Spargo, who then drew the Michael McLean away from that last line of the fence. And Mossop to put through that easy goal from the square, and Jim Cracker out of the centre. Chance for North Melbourne. Hepburn with a wild punch goes to Love. The hand passes to Larkin. Couldn't read it well. Steele backs up brilliantly to Hepburn. The young 18-year-old goes bang, pops it through. And North Melbourne, 2 goals in 1 minute, have opened up the lead 12-12-84 to the Footscray 10-16-76. 8 points the difference as we're 30 seconds into time on in the third quarter.
What a wonderful 2 goals they've been. Hepburn, who's been very quiet after a magnificent performance in Perth in his last game, has only had 3 kicks for the afternoon. And that was an excellent goal. He's a great left footer. I'm still convinced to play a wonderful promise. McDonald's on the ball as Mossop is at full forward. Even Stephen between the 2 of them. Kicked high in the air down towards centre wing. German it was. Well played Hepburn again. Larkin's with it. Larkin there onto his left foot. Steadies. Gets it out to McDonald. It's dangerous. McDonald tries to find Love. He does. Love back towards Smith. And the kick is a good one, but just off direction through for 1 behind.
Well, they've got a run on now, Doug, North Melbourne, and they have been noted to be able to kick quick goals. And Footscray will just have to tighten up here as McLean drops one in short to McGuinness. A very good player in the first half. Not quite so prominent in this third quarter as the ball on that half-forward flank on the outer side of the ground taken by Hawkins. Paddles the ball along in front. Foster should come in and lend assistance. Has been caught high without the ball. But not paid. And Footscray supporters a bit disappointed with that.
And so was Peter Foster.
As they vent their anger. Purser. Brilliant tap down to Royals. Been a great rover. Kicks up to centre half forward, looking for Beasley in front. The thump away by Fairley, but waiting down was Steve McPherson. Well rode to McPherson with a long shot at goals. Is it on target? He's goal. Steve McPherson has popped through goal number 3, and the Bulldogs, they still continue to fight back. 12-13 North Melbourne 85. Bulldogs 11-16-82. 3 points the difference, and we've played 27 minutes into this third quarter.
Well, it's an exciting few moments since Mossop goaled at the 24-minute mark. Then it was followed by Hepburn at the 25-minute mark for North Melbourne, and Stephen McPherson for Footscray answers the 2-goal challenge by getting a good one. McDonald and Purser wins it. Purser down, and it's booted long down towards the half-forward flank. Underneath it, it was Ross Smith. Well played Williams. Runs with it towards the boundary line. And slithering over the line was his opponent, Ackley, and it's out of bounds. But still, Footscray in attack and badly needing a goal at the 27.5-minute mark, as North Melbourne are 85 points to Footscray's 82. Peter Foster, Steve McCann with a big long punch down about 25 metres towards the boundary line. Steele hits it further. Larkin comes in, gets a good bounce, steadies, runs into a good tackle. A very good tackle that time by Ford. And the free kick will go to the back pocket, who's up in centre wing position. Kicks it long downfield. Underneath it, Foster's always the target, and he almost held it long enough. Simon Beasley to Williams was very clever, and Williams kicks it and kicks it through. And in time on period, that's 2 goals to each side, and there's still only 3 points the difference.
And the lead has now changed 12 times, Doug. 7 kicks in this quarter for Shane Williams, and he's now kicked 2 goals. 2 goals in this quarter. So a good performance by Shane Williams, who's had a big tussle with the captain of North Melbourne, John Law. But at quarter time, North Melbourne led by 5. Footscray by 3 at half time. And at the 29-minute mark, the Bulldogs once more lead by 3 points. But here comes the Kangaroos up towards centre half forward, and Mark Hepburn takes the mark. Cost North Melbourne $85,000 to get his clearance from WA, 18 years of age. A beautiful raking left foot kick into the goal square. Mossop's out in front and takes the mark. Memories of John Mossop playing for Geelong in that final series against Collingwood in 1981 when he booted 7 goals at the MCG. In that same sort of fashion, leading out and marking strongly. 13 possessions to Mossop and his second mark. He's kicked 1 goal already in this quarter from a long hand pass in the goal square. He moves in and puts through goal number 2 to John Mossop, both goals in this quarter. And the move to Mossop to full forward and McDonald in the ruck is paying off for North Melbourne.
Mossop in his career, as Kev mentioned, has been a very handy player when rested forward. That actually was his 98th goal in his league career, and that's a pretty good total for a ruckman. Not too often these days, but you find the big fellows goaling in the forward pocket, as so often there's only one ruckman. They spend a lot of time in interchange. But at North Melbourne, Mossop has the odd rest when Donald McDonald or someone like that takes over, and that's the position at the moment when he's giving John Mossop a rest. And it's going to be Purser who's rucked throughout the whole match against McDonald. Purser wins it. It's sharked out there and driven by German, but not a good one, taken by Cordy. He left foots it out towards centre wing position. Foster with the ball. Foster sends it long looking for Beasley. Falls short of him. He dives and overruns it. Picked up and driven out very wide by Clarkson. Clarkson's kick will beat. No, it won't beat Hawkins. It stays in line. Hawkins to McGuinness is clever. McGuinness in trouble, back to Hawkins. Hawkins steadies now and drives a pass out to the flank, and it's a good one, and it's taken by Collingwood. Collingwood too far out to score. Doesn't kick it well, gives McCann the chance. McCann in front of his opponent, and Collingwood picks up again, and then eventually goes to Clarkson. Clarkson out wide, and downfield come North Melbourne. Drive it to centre wing, Purser underneath it, and Purser takes a mark. Quickly on with the game, he goes to Steve Wallace. Steve Wallace down towards the flank. Up goes Ross Smith and punches it over the line out of bounds.
And Purser has played a lone hand in the ruck. He's had to take on both Mossop and also Donald McDonald. As we see Ross Smith with the free kick between the back pocket and half-back flank on the outer side of the ground. Kicks up towards the centre wing position. Purser taps out to Baxter. Baxter, hurried kick back to centre half forward. The ball favours Beasley. Quick hands out to Royal. Couldn't take it as the siren sounds. An opportunity gone begging there for Footscray as Shane Williams' left foot kick bounces through for a goal, but it'll be no score. And at three-quarter time, North Melbourne lead by 3 points. The Kangaroos 13-13, 91. Footscray 12-16, 88. And what a great last quarter this should be. North Melbourne 13-13, 91. The Bulldogs 12-16, 88. And the Bulldogs fighting for a place in the five. North Melbourne may be a chance to hold on to third position if they can win today. There's a chance for McLean. He's been moved to full-back, playing on Phil Cracker, who's kicked 3 goals, and the ball is rushed over the line and out of bounds. Thrown to take place between the forward pocket and half-forward flank on the member side. And it's Hepburn to do the ruck work against Purser. Well taken by Larkin, who's been an absolute star. The kick's a high one. It's off target. Out of bounds on the full. And McLean will take the penalty kick.
Larkin's 26th possession for the match, as McLean kicks it very long out towards the half-back flank. Over the back it goes. Punched away brilliantly. Running downfield is Aythorne into the centre of the ground. Ackley being a good player, hooks it down towards centre half forward. Free kick. Free kick to the front man. Advantage rule is played and Spargo now shoots for goal. And there's a classic of the advantage rule. Whilst we waited for the free kick to come back to McDonald, play went on and Spargo picks it up and running downfield, rams it through and gives North Melbourne a lead of 9 points.
And that's his third goal to Spargo, who's had a very, very good duel with Steve Wallace. And the lead has now changed 14 times in the game, just to demonstrate just how close this game has been since the opening bounce.
He's probably beaten Wallace, Kev, which is a good performance, isn't it? He's at least equal with him.
Well, the fact that he's kicked 3 goals gives him the edge, Doug. He's had 18 possessions. Wallace has done some nice things. Wallace has had 14 possessions, but the 3 goals certainly tip it in favour of Spargo. Out of the centre, it's that man we've been speaking about, Wallace, but taken by Ackley. A long kick down towards centre half forward. Backing back is Clarkson. Couldn't take it. Punched away by Baxter. Forward hits the ground and takes the free kick. Half-back flank, member side, keen to play on. Gets the ball across to the skipper in Kennedy. He's off. He's going for a bit of a run. He's ran a long way. Kicks the ball up towards centre half forward. Looking for Foster. All over the top of him was McCann. Here's young Collingwood. onto that left boot. Beasley's got a chance to mark, and he has taken it. He's going to be on a very, very tough angle. Shane Williams is screaming for it in the goal square. But Simon has decided that he's going to have a set shot.
I doubt whether Shane Williams was even 15 metres away.
I think he might have been looking for a long hand pass.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah. The chemistry didn't might agree. Yeah.
That's exactly right, that famous one in the grand final of 69. As we see Beasley moves in, the kick looks to go straight across the face of goals. It has. It's out of bounds on the full. And a let off for North Melbourne.
And that was a bad one by Simon. As I said earlier, he's played very well in general play, been a good team player. Hasn't been able to kick goals. He's only got one, but that was a poor one. Now it's booted out towards half-back flank, and it's Mossop in front, Purser behind, Larkin doing hard work. McGuinness is with the ball, bustles to the boundary line, and they slither over the line out of bounds. Two wonderful contesting rovers, with Larkin being a star once again.
Throw-in to take place on the 50-metre line. Bulldogs half-forward flank. Chance for McGuinness. The ball bounces kindly, which it doesn't, but the ball's been kicked by Royal. Out of bounds on the full, and Matthew Larkin, possession number 27. Drives down, looking for Hepburn in front, on the long arms of Hepburn, and there's the flashing skills of James Cracker. He's off and running. He's had two bounces. Runs inside the 50-metre line. He sizes up the goals. Great play, Jimmy Cracker, as he pops through. A very important goal to North Melbourne. That's his 16th possession, and it's his second goal. And great play by young Mark Hepburn.
And what a wonderful player. You'd enjoy that one, KB. He steadied and just speared it through, always in control of the kick. He kicks his 19th for the season, and what a wonderful player he's been. The best and fairest for them last year. And we listened to John Kennedy in Perth. John Kennedy never really compliments his own players, but he told us what a wonderful team player he was. He said Jim Cracker is really one of the leaders of this club, and that takes a lot for the Kennedy man to say that. There at centre-half forward, Foster battling valiantly there. Aythorne with the ball, steadies, or is it Royal? Kicks it long, he's kicked it offline again, and Beasley marks cleverly. Fairly slipped to the ground and was pushed to the ground, and there the anxious look of Simon Beasley. He knew he'd infringed, and the free kick goes to Ian Fairley.
North Melbourne lead by 15 points, and that's been their biggest margin in this game. As we see Mossop back in the ruck after a stint at full forward. Chance for Chandler. Half-back flank. Been a good player. Had a great duel on Hawkins. It's a floating kick back, and a free kick to Jason Love. Love a long way down from the half-forward flank. Possession number 18 for Love as he kicks the ball back to the half-forward line. Linton Fitzpatrick gets his fist to the ball at the back. It's Aythorne. He's been caught by Larkin. He's got the tagging job since half-time, picked up by Clarkson, the youngster who kicked that all-important goal. The ball's kept in by McLean, but it's through for one behind. Clarkson went into the history books, Doug, kicking that goal after the siren for North Melbourne to beat Melbourne.
What did McLean kick to himself there for? He kicks himself, looks for Douglas Hawkins. Hawkins takes a splendid mark. Well, hasn't been a brilliant player today. We're used to so much from this unbelievably good player. Gets a short pass out wide. Fitzpatrick with the ball. Fitzpatrick down where over the top, it's a big leap by Law. Williams overrun it. Hand pass from McCann. Out to Law. Law then kicks it downfield. Hawkins for a difficult one again and takes a splendid mark. Quickly it goes out wide and taken by Maloney. Maloney down, hugging the flank. Right on the boundary line it is, and eventually over the line, out of bounds. And I think Footscray will need to be more direct than that.
Yes, I agree, Doug. 16 points down. Have to go straight down the centre. Mossop and Purser. Royal, great player today, kicks the ball down towards Shane Williams, who takes the mark. 2 goals, 3 to Shane Williams. He's keen to play on. It's his 8th mark. He's looking for Beasley out in front, and Simon's got it this time. Directly in front, mark number 6 to Simon Beasley. He's kicked 60 goals for the season. It should bring up goal number 2 for the game, because he's directly in front, only 25 metres out. It's a badly needed one for Footscray. All concentration is Simon as he moves in. Drop punch it on its way. Gets the accolade from his teammate and McPherson, and he's popped through a very important goal. And at the 8-minute mark of the final term, North Melbourne lead by 10 points. 15-14, 104. Footscray 13-16, 94.
Yes, it really is a very important goal. 10-point lead is easy to swallow up, but of course, if the reverse happens, and North Melbourne are the next team to score, it's a pretty decisive lead at the 9-minute mark. And come the ruckman once again. Mossop's back on the ball. Pearce has done it all day. Over the back it goes. Battling for it, Jim Cracker foot the ball very quickly. In front, good mark by Maloney. Maloney, nuggety player. This is his 15th game for the season, so he's had a pretty good season. Sends it long downfield. Peter Foster gives the leap. Up he goes, but in front. Splendid judgment there by Mossop. Out it comes to by Passmore, out to Steele. Steele out wide. Rick Kennedy's with it. Turns and balks. He's in trouble. Gets his left foot and drubs it down towards Williams. Williams in front. Running behind it is Steele. A chance now for Collingwood. Collingwood out to Williams again. Williams clever to Wallace. Wallace about 75 metres out. Looks for Beasley again. In front was Passmore. Took it away from him. Well, strong play, McPherson. Hooks it back towards the goal square. Foster puts McCann out. And the umpire doesn't allow it. And Foster pushed him out most decisively. And the free kick is against a very distraught and worried, complaining Peter Foster, but Steve McCann takes it.
Well, bit of bad luck there for Footscray. McPherson already has booted 3 goals, and that would have brought him within 4 points. But McCann kicks out to the outer side of the ground on the practice wicket area and thumped over the back. Chance for Jimmy Cracker. Kicks up towards Hepburn, but backing back is Linton Fitzpatrick. Takes the mark. He's keen to play on. Back to the centre of the ground, all by himself is Royal. The quick hands come out to Maloney. Maloney kicks over centre half forward, dropping short. McCann's in front, kick it off the ground, they say to Simon. He tries to punch it along the ground, dives on top of the ball. Ball spills clear, chance for Shane Williams. Borks comes back onto the right boot. The kick's half smothered, taken by Foster. Hooks one over his head. Peter Foster, has he kicked a miraculous goal? He has. And the Bulldogs, they will not lie down. The Scray are back within 4 points. North Melbourne 15-14, 104. The Bulldogs 14-16, 100. And we've played 10 and a half minutes into this final quarter.
Well, there's not been a better goal kicked all day than that one, and not been a more crucial one. And Footscray really needed it, and they've got back to within 4 points from gallant play. And Peter Foster epitomised this is his season. He's really been one of their leaders throughout the season. Kicks a goal that they desperately needed, and it's Mossop against Purser as usual. A very good bounce by the umpire. Stephen Wallace fights for it, but it was Chandler taken down. Nice play by Spargo. Doesn't cover much distance. Jimmy Cracker this time is beaten for it and is driven over the line by Baxter. He times it well, or judges it very well, and it bounces just before the line, over the line, out of bounds.
11 and a half minutes gone in this final quarter. 4 points the difference in favour of North Melbourne. Purser and Mossop, they've had a great duel in the ruck. Picked up by Clarkson. Quick kick back to that half-forward line. Jimmy Cracker can't pick the ball up. Was he held? Play on, says umpire Robinson. Ford tried to crash his way through. Baxter with a quick kick back, and Clarkson all by himself takes the mark. Plays on quickly to Mossop. Back to Clarkson. Has to kick on the left boot. And Mark Hepburn, being a very quiet player, but he's come into the game in this final quarter. Usually a beautiful long left foot kick. This is no exception to the edge of the square nearly, as we see McLean waiting at the back. Can't take control, and the ball's forced over the line.
Yes, Hepburn is back to scratch today, playing his 3rd league game. His 2nd one was a wonderful one in Perth. But he'll be there for a long time. In come the rucks, and down from Purser, down towards Kennedy. Kennedy lost it. Larkin shoots for goal and misses it through for one behind. Well, Matthew Larkin has picked up possessions all quarters, all round the ground. The only blemish on a magnificent performance has been the fact that he's missed a few goals.
Well, he's kicked 1 goal through, Doug, and he's had 28 possessions, and we see Linton Fitzpatrick take the mark in front of Hepburn, half-back flank, member side, Footscray kicking down towards the city end, as we see Dougie Hawkins hunch himself over and marks in front of Chandler. Great duel between these two today as he goes short looking for young Collie Nook, and he takes it, a juggling one. Youngster playing his first game of league football. Up towards centre-half forward. Beasley's the target in front. The fist away from Fairley. Waiting down to McGuinness, a great player early, but has gone out of the game in the second half. And umpire Saws will bounce. 60 metres out from Footscray's goal. They trailed North Melbourne by 5 points. We've played 13.5 minutes in this hectic final quarter.
It's on the half-forward flank in front of the grandstands that Mossop gets in front position and thumps at 20 metres. Doug Hawkins is thwarted by good running there, and a long one goes out to German. German on the boundary line keeps it in play. Very clever. Fumble just for that moment by Love. Over the line comes Wallace and takes it out of bounds. He's tackled by German. It's really been fierce competitive football throughout the whole match. Two sides really battling to make the 5. And they've showed that they've got class. In comes Purser. Purser down to Royal, who's been all class all day. Bolt gets away, but he's well tackled by Spargo. An opportunity now for Hepburn. Hepburn back to German. German short out to the flank is very clever. A long one from Love is beautiful. And running downfield is Clarkson. Clarkson from about 30 metres out puts it straight through. Absolutely bisects it. And Alistair Clarkson steadied and did it in absolute copybook style. That's his 11th possession, and what a vital goal it was to answer that last one of Footscray's.
And North Melbourne 11 points in front. And Clarkson, I suppose, has a reputation of kicking a goal now, Doug, after kicking one after the siren under all sorts of pressure several weeks back when North Melbourne got up to beat Melbourne. Made no mistake that particular time. Good goal by the youngster. That opens up an 11-point lead. He's 19 years of age. And his first goal today. He's back in the centre of the ground. Can Footscray answer the challenge? Mossop with a tap out, taken by Wallace to Royal. Royal, bit slow to kick the ball out towards Tony McGuinness. Ackley, but Royal backing up well, looking for the hand pass. It's Maloney through the centre of the ground to the centre half forward. Oh, they're fiddling around Footscray. Back to McGuinness. They need a long kick. McGuinness will kick long. The left boot's on its way. It's a great kick by Tony McGuinness. And Footscray, they bounce back yet again. What a game at the MCG. 5 points the difference. North Melbourne 16-15, 111. Bulldogs 15-16, 106.
Well, you saw the virtue then of someone who can really kick the ball long. Right on the 50-metre mark. And he had no trouble at all making the distance. And that wonderful left footer really speared it through. And that's another player, number 11 from South Australia, who's got the chance for a Brownlow medal this year. He's had a magnificent season. He's one of the stars of the win against Victoria. Here comes Jim Cracker. He's tackled. Out wide it goes, and it's punched out by Ford. Not good. Downfield from McDonald. Underneath it. Oh, good leap by Larkin. Then recovers possession. 5 foot with Baxter. And Athorn on the ground. And Larkin almost took a good one. He's almost run off his feet. And the ball is to be bounced in the half-forward zone with Footscray in attack. And North Melbourne are leading by 6 points. North Melbourne in attack. It's Love. Or snap goal. That's one of the goals of the match. And we've stressed many times what an extraordinary goal sense he's got. And that really was a beauty. And Jason Love kicks a very vital goal at the 16.5-minute mark in the final quarter. And that's his second.
And he's been a very good player all day, Doug. He really did have the better of Eccleston early in the game. And Footscray have had to make changes to try and combat Love's elusiveness on that half-forward flank. And can Footscray come back yet again? Mossop wins the tap. Cracker, Jim Cracker, picked up by Chandler. It's a high kick towards Larkin. Best player on the ground. Couldn't take the mark. He recovers well. Yet another possession out to Hepburn. Its ball's going to bounce in the square. Taken by Phil Cracker. He's popped it through. Well, you could see the ball was going to bounce. Unfortunately for Michael McLean, he was caught in a position where there was not much he could do about it. And the ball did favour Phil Cracker. And now that gap does open up. 18-15, 123 North Melbourne. Footscray 15-16, 106. 17 points the difference at the 17.5-minute mark of this final term, and that's the biggest margin between the two sides today.
And bad luck there for Footscray when you're playing in front, as McLean was. The ball went straight over his head into the hands of Phil Cracker. Mossop gets it out again. Been a wonderful ruckman. A scrimmage in the centre. Donald McDonald, Rick Kennedy looking fierce and talking to the umpire. But was going to look at him, almost walking through umpire Robinson. Umpire Robinson, cool and calm, has seen that all before and was very sympathetic to Rick Kennedy. Bounces once again. Big pack now. Purser wins it. Ackley picks it up, kicks it out towards the boundary line. Racing for it is Maloney with German. And in comes Larkin, fumbles for once. Picked up by Maloney. Maloney down towards the half-forward flank. Underneath it, a fine mark taken by Royal. And they're not out of it yet. Royal, possession number 35, would you believe? Short passes out wide to Maloney. Maloney will need to kick one of his best. He'll be just behind the 15-metre penalty. That'll make it easier for him. And with the scoreboard showing North Melbourne 123 points to Footscray 106, Maloney now comes in, and he'll only be about 35 metres from goal when he shoots from about a 45-degree angle. Here comes Troy Maloney. 123 to 106. Maloney kicks it and kicks it very well. So it's 113 to 123, and at the 19-minute mark, the 10-point lead can still be whittled away, or it's 11-point lead.
Well, it's been a great game.
It's been a wonderful game, Kev. Yeah.
Both sides to be congratulated. 5 points separated them at quarter time, 3 points at half time, and 3 points at three-quarter time. And once again, Footscray have bounced back, and at the 19.5-minute mark, trail by only 11 points. Bouncing the ball by umpire Ian Robinson in what's been a great contest, and Jimmy Cracker out of the centre has been caught by McGuinness. Kennedy said it was holding the ball, but instead he grabs the ball himself, crashes his way out. The hand pass is a poor one, goes to John Law, he fumbles, he can't pick up. Finally he gets his kick to the ball. Larkin tried to tap the ball on, punched on further by Athorn, taken by Ford, caught high was he, play on says the umpire. Here's a chance for Athorn once more, the hand pass, oh it's been smothered, picked up by Jimmy Cracker across the Larkin, the ball comes back onto the right boot, he fires. It's off target. Pressure football by Footscray, and that's been the theme of the game as McLean in that last line of the fence sends the Bulldogs back into attack on the outer side of the ground. Purser played a lone hand in the ruck, the ball stumped forward. German, the ball bounces kindly, long kick, but it's off target, over the line, out of bounds. Is it on the full? Yes it is, and once more that penalty kick will go to McLean. Plays on, no, he has to hand pass it back to Fitzpatrick. And Linton Fitzpatrick with that long kick hugging the boundary line.
And Andrew Purser's in front, and a beautiful leap over the top in by Foster. Foster battling valiantly. His 8th mark. He's been the top mark getter for Footscray for the season. Downfield it goes. A good big punch there by Steele. Picked up by Ford. Ford then steadies and kicks it short, but doesn't kick it very well. Passmore battles valiantly. Steve McPherson seemed to throw it out to Cordy. Cordy then boots it down. Simon Beasley in front. Good mark, Simon. A very good mark by Beasley. North Melbourne 18-15 to Footscray 16-16. And Beasley's played well until he's kicked for goal when he's missed a few easy ones, or certainly ones that he would normally have got. He's kicked 2. And they need this one desperately to Footscray. They can't afford this loss. If it is to be a loss, they're 16-16 to 18-15 as Beasley from about 35 metres from goal kicks for goal and kicks it well, and the battle is still on. Simon Beasley's 3rd goal, and he's 62nd for the season.
Well, Footscray, they
won't give up.
They won't give up, Doug. Every time North Melbourne kick a couple of quick goals, and look, when they're 16 points in front, as they have been a couple of times now, look as if they may have the game by the throat. Footscray bounces back. And once more, only 5 points the difference. The 22.5-minute mark of the last quarter. Plenty of time for Footscray to win the game, and plenty of time for North Melbourne to sew it up. Umpire Rowan Sawyers and umpire Robinson Done a very good job today in what's been a first-class game. And Purser with a thump out of the centre, taken by German. Quick kick back to that half-forward line. Trapped by Love, but tapped down by Kennedy. They're going in hard now. The stakes are high, and the free kick will go to Spargo. Trying to play on quickly was German, but umpire Robinson says you must bring the ball back. And Spargo, who's booted 3 goals. Possession number 20. Kicking from about 80 metres out. The punt kick's a poor one. It flops forward, but playing in front is Mark Hepburn. And Linton Fitzpatrick caught out by that poor kick. Hepburn's 4th mark. He is a magnificent left foot kick. He's kicked 1 goal. He's had 12 possessions. Well down early in the game. Lifted his game in the 3rd quarter. And could this be the sealer for North Melbourne? As Hepburn moves in. And I've mozzed him.
Pulled it, yep.
I've mozzed him. And that takes North Melbourne to 1 straight kick in front.
Michael McLean looks for Rick Kennedy and finds him just in time as McDonald came late on the scene, and Kennedy's in an angry mood. That won't worry Donald McDonald. He gets past him. Play on, says the umpire. Gains 25 metres. Goes again from the 50-metre mark in defence. Kicks it out there. A big leap by Foster again. A great spoil by McCann. Picked up there and driven downfield by Wallace. Into open territory it goes. Stephen Collingwood's in possession. No, he lost it. And over the line goes Troy Maloney with the ball spilling away from him. And it's been fierce competitive football throughout the match. And a wonderful match it's been, with only 1 goal the difference at the 24-minute mark, with North Melbourne in front.
And from the throw-in, taken by McGuinness. It's been caught. Spargo back to the centre wing position. Love and Fitzpatrick there. Picked up by Fitzpatrick. Out to Hawkins. Ball's over the line. Trying once more to take place. 24.5 minutes gone in this hectic last quarter. 6 points the difference. North 18-15, 124. Footscray 17-18, 118. As we see Purser with hits the ball down. Maloney, can he keep it in play? He can't. So the ball is just moved ever so slightly along the half-forward line of North Melbourne. Still 75 metres out from the North Melbourne goal. They're kicking down towards the punt road end as Hepburn's in front. Purser's very, very tired. The kick's a high one. Waiting underneath it, 2 Footscray players, but Athorn takes a very, very strong mark. And a 15-metre penalty. We could have a draw in our hands, Doug.
Who knows, Kev? 25 minutes are gone. We're ticking into time on period. It'll be a reasonably lengthy corner. That was a magnificent mark of Athorn's that time. Now he comes in from centre-half back and boots it down looking for Foster. Foster and McCann. McCann spoils. Williams in trouble. Kick covers no distance. Wallace in trouble. Hand passes out. And it's taken in a lovely smother that time by Royal. Out wide to the flanks it goes, and Collingwood did it well. In comes Royal again. Bumped by Chandler. Royal beats him. Pushes Chandler in the face and gets away from him. Steadies with his left foot. Great smother, Mossop. Brilliant smother. Love kicks it out of danger to centre wing position. Matthew Larkin in lots of trouble. Picked up by German. German dribbles it along the boundary line very cleverly. Had nobody to kick to, and the ball's over the line out of bounds. And we've ticked into the 26-minute mark, and there's still 1 goal the difference with North Melbourne in front.
And Athorn's off for Footscray, and Brian Royal has played a great game for Footscray, just trying to do a little bit too much that time as the time clock ticks away. 1 goal the difference. Chance for Love to pick the ball up. They're under pressure. The kick's a high one. Waiting underneath it. Fitzpatrick and Hepburn. Beautiful tap out by Hepburn to German. Will the ball bounce up to Jimmy Cracker? Onto the left boot. His kick's off target. Ooh, it looked like it was out of bounds to me from here, Doug.
Yeah, Kevin, important score to get that point, because that means they've got to score twice to Footscray now to catch them. There's 7 points the difference as Michael McKean kicks it out very wide, looking for Hawkins late on the scene. Never looked like it in that particular case. Picked up by Chandler, lost, gets it once again, boots it down towards centre-half forward. Ford goes up and takes an easy mark, but took it very calmly and in confident fashion.
Ford's keen to play on. Footscray's got to get the ball moving quickly across to Baxter. Baxter down towards Eccleston in front, and he takes the mark in front of Matthew Larkin. He's just come onto the ground. He's replaced Athorn. There's Eccleston. Kicks long. He's looking for the high flyer in Foster. Foster couldn't take it. Shane Williams from behind. The kick's been smothered. Good play by Steele. There's a chance for Fairley as the ball runs over the line, and a throw to take place in Footscray's forward pocket. 27.5 minutes gone in this final quarter, and 7 points the difference. North Melbourne leads Footscray. Can they get back into this game? Foster to the ruck work. Over the top comes McCann. A big thump picked up by Collingwood. Playing his first game, the ball punched through by Beasley, and there still could be a draw. 28 minutes gone. One straight kick the difference.
And Fairley kicks it to himself and gains about 15 metres, steadies, kicks it very long, but it's in Footscray's general direction. A punch down by Wallace. The captain's with the ball. Great tackle, Jim Cracker. Out it goes on the free kick. The free kick will go to Jimmy Cracker. And as John Kennedy said, so often does he do the tough thing for us. What a wonderful leader he is. And he kicks it wide to the boundary line, which is sensible football. Steve Wallace with a big leap over the top of German, and German trundles it over the line out of bounds. But that really was a magnificent tackle from the tiny little man Jim Cracker on big, tough, rugged captain Rick Kennedy. They've got the free kick, and now it's Donald McDonald will do battle with Purser. Purser in front possession. Out it goes, and it's kicked by Spargo downfield. In front, the mark is taken by McLean in front of Phil Cracker.
And McLean onto that left boot. Up to the half-forward line. Foster's there, but John Law, strong captain's mark on the half-back flank. Law hugging the boundary line on the outer side of the ground. Over the back, chance for German. Maloney taps the ball back, picked up by McLean. He was caught high, gets the ball back to McGuinness. McGuinness is off. He's going to go for a run. He's had two bounces. Kicks long, up towards the 50-metre line. One for the high flyers once more. Ball comes to the ground, picked up by Steele. A long hand pass to Donald McDonald. Has to kick hurriedly back towards the centre wing position. In front, is it a mark to North Melbourne? Play on, says umpire Robinson. Chance there. Baxter tries desperately along with Fitzpatrick. They can't get the ball out. And both sides are absolutely exhausted in this last quarter as we approach the 29-minute, nearly the 30-minute mark, as we see one goal the difference.
And it's North Melbourne just across the centre wing position. An awkward bounce. It's taken nicely and driven down. Footscray in attack and trailing. Up go the leapers and just missed by McCann. Hand pass McDonald is very good to Steele. Steele then down towards centre wing position. In front, the mark is taken by Purser. Purser wisely plays on quickly. Out to Ford, who can kick it long. He's tackled, kicks it out towards Hawkins, who takes a wonderful mark. And Doug Hawkins is about 55 to 60 metres out, kicks it short and kicks it to McPherson. Well, he didn't gain much, but he's gained something. McPherson is within range. The angle is more difficult, but McPherson will kick from about 45 metres out.
And the siren is
gone.
Well, Doug, we've talked about a draw.
There's 6 points the difference. 6 points the difference. North Melbourne in front. Stephen McPherson almost kicking for a place in the five. Steve McPherson from about 45 metres kicks for goal.
What a kick!
And puts it through.
A draw. A great draw. We said through this quarter that this game could end in a draw. It was worthy of a draw. John Kennedy looks back at the scoreboard, and the Footscray players have gone berserk because Steve McPherson has just booted his fourth goal after the siren, a pressure kick, and Footscray is absolutely delighted. North Melbourne, it would be a great disappointment because
Will the draw do them